Hello YouTube, how are you? This is a video on a Phalaenopsis orchid that I had in my collection, and it's just not making it due to a type of disease commonly known as soft rot. 2 weeks ago, I noticed that it was losing one of the older leaves, and it also was rotting from the stem. So I quickly pulled it out, and because it was one of the leaves in between, so I pulled it out, I sprayed it with a huge amount of hydrogen peroxide, and basically I sprayed it until it's completely drenched. All the media was wet, everything. The only thing I did not do was using cinnamon, because it was in between, so it was hard for me to know the extent of the bacteria infection. I believe this is a bacteria infection versus viral. So after the spray, I put it at a very ventilated area for the more extra moisture to evaporate. So it was good for about 2 weeks. And then yesterday, so 2 weeks later, and it was yesterday, I noticed that one leaf was showing a very big rotting from the stem. And then I was trying to see if it was, a lot more serious than it appears, and it was, because I was trying to wiggle, and the whole plant basically came off. So the rot was already attacking, or the rot was already very extensive, that it was basically an entire stem and crown rot. So this is really it. So this is the end of it. I'm not going to bother trying to save this orchid because, it'll be forever before I even see a leaf coming out, or if at all, right? And thankfully, this particular plant was in bloom, near its bloom cycle, and I'll add the link below to show you which orchid it is. But for some of you may already know which one it is based on the tag, the pink tag that you see here. But anyway, I'll add a link to show you which orchid this is. But this one, because it was in bloom or near its bloom cycle, so it was always on this table, away from the rest of my collection. So after this video, I will also do a really good disinfecting job of this particular coffee table. And I would also add another link in the description below. And this is from a gentleman. His videos are all going to be in a different language, but what he is demonstrating in the video is if the rot is happening from the tip of the leaves, you simply just need to go further down. For example, this area is the infected area. You simply need to go down a little further to cut into the good tissues to ensure that no infection will spread further into the plant. But in my case, which is a really bad case, is that, the infection is actually coming from the stem itself. So it's really difficult to save this, this orchid. Especially I try to save it at my first attempt 2 weeks ago, but obviously I did not get rid of the bacteria, and so within 2 weeks time, this infection has manifested itself to affect the entire stem. So this is really what we are dealing with right now, right? And I can still see lots of moisture. And I really don't know how deep the rot is into the pot, because I haven't seen the length of the stem yet. But I'm just going to throw this thing away completely. Obviously, I'll keep the decorative container. I'll make sure I disinfect it. And I'll disinfect this tabletop. But other than that, I really think this is a goner. Anyway, I hope this adds some value, and to, as a caution as well, if there is anything that is really not, it's not going well, separate your orchid. Do not keep all your orchids together if there is anything looking fishy to you. And let me know if you have similar experience, especially if you have experience on, okay, I should have used cinnamon powder or any other kind of remedy other than spraying this plant with just hydrogen peroxide. Maybe that was not enough. But this is really my first time ever dealing with a bacteria rot. So that's what I did, and obviously it wasn't good enough. Let me know in the comments below if you have prior experience. Otherwise, again, I wish you happy growing, and hopefully you would never have to deal with anything like this. Until next time, take good care of yourself. Ciao.